and LaDanza Ussery from DPI. And I think you're all looking at my granddaughter right now. Oh, yep, okay, so I'm going to make LaDanza the presenter, and you will see her screen, and she is going to walk us all through a presentation, or I'm sorry, a demonstration on Grad Plans Phase 2 and what functionality we have and what the screens will look like and so forth. So I've just made you the presenter, LaDanza. Okay. And you'll need to click Show My Screen. Before I do that, let me get to where you want to go first, and then do the Show My Screen. Okay. So LaDanza's getting to the site that she needs to go to do the demonstration. We will have her do the demonstration, and we will stop periodically for questions. Sometimes people get all excited and they type questions in right away, and we actually get to that information a little bit later. So you might want to just hold off just a tad with your questions until we actually get started and get into the demonstration, and then you can start asking your questions.
We're going to put you on hold for a moment while I'm trying to bring up the screen.
Okay, so we're having some technical difficulties, so I'm going to mute us for just a moment while we see if we can get that taken care of. So hold on.
Before I get started, I want to point out that there are 2 documents on the SIS site. The first one has North Carolina Customization Phase 2 on it. That is from the state level down to the school level. If you use that document, start from page 17, because on page 17 it starts the LEA and how you can set up your local graduation option. And the second document is still the same title, North Carolina Customization, but Phase 2 is not on it. And you can use that document to start off with your school, how the graduation plan should look for your school. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up a student. This is my student, Doris Caroline Kitts. And what you're seeing on the left-hand side is going to, that's new. We're no longer going to be going to custom screens to go to graduation plan. We now are going to have a section that says North Carolina information. This is going to come out when we do the upgrade. So under there, you have your academics and you have your graduation requirements. And those are the 2 areas we're going to be in. So I'm going to click on graduation requirements. And the way the graduation requirement is going to be set up now is that you're going to have tabs. The first tab is the UNC. The second tab is FRC, CTE, State, LEA, Endorsements, and Credential Attainment. Actually, I'm going to step back for a moment. Oh, yeah, I'm good. I'm going to show you how we're going to, yes, I'm going to step back. Let me go back to the beginning. Because I want to show you first how you can set up your local option. So you will go to LEA. You'll scroll down to the bottom to graduation plan requirements. And the only area that you can put your local graduation plan is in the LEA section. You can copy from UNC, FRC, CTE, Math, Rig, and State into the LEA and manipulate that area, but you cannot change anything on the other tabs, UNC, FRC, CTE. And as you can see, I have a few that I have put in. And the first step would be to create your route. You have a plus sign that's in blue. You would click on that, and that's where you would add your route. So I'm going to click on New. The code can be anything that you want. I'm just going to put 3. You have to put the 9th grade entry year because that's how the graduation is recognized and which plan the student's supposed to be on. So you only really have 2 choices, 2009 and 2012. I'll make this one 2009. The description can be anything you want. The sort order. You hit Submit. In order to get out of this area, you have to go back to your breadcrumbs at the top. Now, you don't see it right now, and that's because it's not attached to a plan. So you're going to have to hit New Base Requirement. At this time, you get to select the route, and you can call it whatever you like. And you need to tell it how many credits the student has to have in order to fulfill this requirement. You would hit Submit.
Is this something that they should be able to do now, or is this functionality that will come with the upgrade?
This functionality they can do now.
Okay. We have one person who says last week she did not have the route displaying in the blue banner. Does she need to log a ticket?
Log a ticket.
Okay.
So I hit Submit, and I have my webinar 1, I have my base subject, and I have my credits. You will have to hit the radio button, and now you have the different paths. So I'm only going to put one path because under each graduation plan, you can have as many paths as you want. So I'm just going to make one, and I'm going to call it Web 1. And you hit Submit. Now to add the courses, you have to go back and click on the radio button. You now have 2 options. You can click on the radio button and click New Sub-Requirements and add courses, which I'll show you in a moment, or you can go back and copy 2. You can use that function. But let's just, for now, we're going to do new path requirement, and we're going to add a second one. Because I'm going to show you the 2 different ways, and I have to have 2 set up.
This is an LEA level function, not a school level
This
function.
is an LEA level function. Now, to do the copy, I'm going to copy from UNC, and I'm going to copy the 2009 science plan. And under Path 1, I have biology, earth science, and physical science. And under the biology, there are the courses. But all I want to do is copy this one path to Web 1. So I will click on Copy To. And it's only going to give you the option to copy to LEA. It's not going to allow you to copy to any of the other areas. And I just put in 2009 Test 2. I wanted to copy there. It says Path Copy, OK. Now I can go back to LEA. Go to my Test 2, Webinar 1. And you see Path 1, the Science Path 1, it's there. With the 3 subject areas, and under it are the courses. And in this area, if you don't want the student to have all those courses, you can just delete. Hit Confirm, delete, hit Confirm, and hit Submit. Since this is a test environment, I don't know why it stopped me from deleting. But in production, you're supposed to be able to delete. This went up to Pearson yesterday, and they're still trying to figure out why, under my security, it won't let me delete at this time. Web 2 or Web 1, we can add courses. So we'll do a new sub-requirement. The category will be math. It can be any category you want. And the description, Math 2, and you would tell it how many courses they need to have to complete this path. I'm just going to say 1. You hit Submit. To add the courses, you have to go back to Web 2, click on the category, and add a course. And you only have to add the first 4 digits. And if you click too many boxes, you could hit Undo. That's basically all you have to do in order to add your local options. Any questions so far?
Okay. Just several questions asking where the documentation was found. So I went to the CIS site and found it and sent out the link to everyone for the page that it's found on and the name of the document, and it says Grad Plans Phase 2 on it. So everybody should have that in the question area. I don't know if it comes back to you in the question area or in the chat panel. So we have a question. Who sets up the LEA requirements? And that is, again, that is an LEA level function. So someone at the district level who has coordinator access is the one that will have to input this information. Sherry wants to know, does this mean that they have to have 1 credit of any of the course codes listed, or will it look for all of the course codes?
It will look, okay. I'm going to go back to the science path. What it's saying here is that they need 1 credit from the biology and biology science section. They need 1 credit from the earth environmental section. They need 1 credit from physical science in order to have fulfilled science path 1.
So it says they have to, so what it's looking at, it's an and statement. It says whatever you've got listed there, they have to have all of that to meet that requirement.
Under the category, yes. And then under each category, there you can put you would put your courses, and it would have to be one course from that section to meet the criteria. Did that make sense? So once again, after you set up your course, your path, under each path, the system is looking for how many categories you have under each path, and it's looking for one course. Okay?
We have a couple questions.
Okay.
Okay, so I sent the document for the link to the Phase 2, or the link for the document for Phase 2. Did you mention that there were 2 documents?
There was 2. There's also one that says,
is it on the same, do you know where it is on the website?
It should be on the same site.
Screen?
And it,
Do you know what that one's called?
North Carolina customization, the Phase 2 is taken out of it, out of the title. Don't see it.
I don't see that one.
I'll look it up again because I found it off of I did a search.
Because I found the one was on the student page. Let me just look for grad plans.
That's what I did, and it came up, the first one.
North Carolina customization.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dagnabbit. I got to do it on a different browser. That one wants to download instead of take me to it. All right, so I'm going to send that link. Get back over here. Okay, so I just sent that second link out to everyone. Susan says that the OCS courses do not show as meeting requirements to graduate. Is there going to be a fix for this, or do we just override it? Or is that something that they need to log a ticket about?
Log a ticket because that's something new. And they're under state. We do have set up OCS.
Okay.
Not on this here. This is our test environment. I know you've seen cheese, but there are some OCS that we do have listed. So I'm not sure. Yeah, they put cheese and potatoes.
Okay. No more questions at this point.
Okay. Now we're going to go forward and move on for the student.
Okay.
Now I'm going to pick my student. And like I said, on the left-hand side, the NC information and the academics and the information, those are all going to be put in when we go to the upgrade. So the student, on the student screen, you will see everything that was on the LEA level. You have the UNC, you have FRC, CTE, state, LEA, endorsements, and credentials. On the UNC, you will have the core courses, and you will have the bars. The light green means that it's in progress. The dark green means it's complete. The white, they are not complete. So this really means that Doris hasn't taken any foreign language courses, so that's why she's incomplete, but she has fulfilled her social studies and her science. And it looks like she is not on the pathway for UNC because of her English courses and her foreign language courses. So let's then look at FRC. It shows that she's projected to complete her English and her math. So if you click on it, you can see which pathway she's almost complete, and it looks like she's on the English, the second English pathway, standard. And she's in 5. I want to tell you something about this clone. Clone can be taken out on the LEA level. Clone just means that it was copied from one area to another area so that you'll have something to identify the one that you copied versus the original. And you can take that out on the LEA level.
Okay. We have a couple questions.
Okay.
So the first question is from Nancy, and she says, can we create a requirement for a test? For example, we require a graduation project, and we enter the pass or fail in the test scores area. The student could pass all of their English classes, but not pass their graduation project.
You can put that under LEA and actually set it up to say graduation project with one credit required. So then if they pass it, they can graduate with the project.
Okay. Francine says, locally, we require more credits than North Carolina does for students to graduate. Can we just set up our additional local requirements under the LEA tab, or do we have to set up all of the North Carolina requirements and then add our local additional requirements?
No. The LEA area is where you would add just your local.
Just the additional.
Just the additional, because
so they don't have to pick one and copy it and then add their additional there.
No.
Okay.
Copying is just if you copy and just make things easier. If the course codes are already under the original, it's just make it easier for you to copy over. That's all. You do not have to copy over. You can hand key in the course numbers that you want.
Okay. What about CPR certification? Is this built in within the state requirements?
It's built in, but it's not in here. You still would have to use it as a test. And when I get to, I think it's under conditional endorsement, I'm waiting on my tab to.
So you'll talk more about that when you get to the endorsement.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm waiting on it to get to endorsement.
Okay.
Okay.
So Nancy says for that graduation project, where would it pull the credit from if they set it up as a test and not a course? They just put it in as a test. She said, can you demonstrate?
So you just want it as a test, and you don't want it as with a course number. Nancy, I'm going to have to get back with you on that one.
Okay.
And the CPR, because I know it can be done because CPR is in the test area, and CPR shows up on the endorsement. And if they have completed, it will say complete. If they failed, it would say incomplete.
Okay.
On the endorsement.
Okay. James would like to know, do you know if there's a report that they can run that indicates for all of the students? So they could run it for all of the, like all of the seniors.
We're going to get there.
Okay. So
we're going to get there.
Talk about some reports that'll help you out.
We're going to get there. There's a report. But back on the FRC, it's just taking my computer a minute. This is where you can evaluate per student if the student is on target. And if you make a change in the student's historical data, each one of these tabs have run FRC. Run UNC, FRC, run CTE, and it will run it, and it would update right then and there. Other than that, it will update overnight, especially UNC and CTE because they're larger. They're larger modules. All right, now let's go back to endorsements. There are several endorsements that the state wants to see, and so As the student is going along, there's a criteria for career, college for UNC, and NC academic scholar. So for this student right here, it's only checking certain areas which the student have achieved. The GPA has to be over 2.6 in order to meet the career standards, and she has a GPA of 2.375. So this is all incomplete. She has not met her FRC standards yet, or her math rigor yet, and if she's a CTE concentrator, this would be checked, but she's not really a CTE concentrator. Not yet. The credential attainment. So far, the only test we have connected to a course is provided by CTE. So if a student has taken a course or supposed to take a course, it will show it. And it will tell you if the student passed the course, and you can view the scores. Every single course that the student has taken that's in their historical grades will be outlined on this page. But if there's a test associated with it, the test will be there. Any questions?
We have one that's asking for a demonstration. Can you demonstrate how to add additional credits that are required to graduate where it doesn't matter which course codes earn the credit?
All right, that means we have to go back
Right, to the LEA level.
to the LEA level. We have to go back to the grad plan requirements. And when you set up, you have to do the same setup. And you're saying they need one additional credit no matter what the course is.
Right.
Under FRC, there's a 21 minimum requirement section. This area has every single course that's in our catalog.
So they could copy that one.
They would have to copy that one. You will copy that one. And I'm just going to copy it to my test. I will go back to the LEA, click on my webinar 1. You see the 21 credits. You can title that anything you want to.
So you could say 2 credits or whatever. Right.
All courses. And you would have to hit submit. Then you would have to go back, click on all courses, and tell it 1 credit. And hit submit. And this is a good time to show you. You can take out this is where you would take out the clone and change the titles to whatever you would like it to be. And you would hit submit. At this time, a student would have to have a course from all courses. And if you give it a minute, all the courses are going to pop up.
It's just a little bit slow.
Yes.
So I think that was a great demonstration and probably made Sherry very happy. Cheryl would like to know, will the Credential tab reflect the CTE post-assessment or the industry credentialing test? Where you had the student pulled up and you had that CTE tab?
I'm trying to remember. I'm not sure which test it will be. If you send me an email, I will ask Rhonda Welfare, because she really didn't tell me which one. She just gave me a list of courses with the test and said these courses, these tests need to be connected to these courses.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to go back to my...
That's all the questions that are in right now.
Okay.
Oh, I spoke too soon. Kathy says, if data on our transcripts is not correct, UNC requirements that have been fulfilled still showing as unfulfilled, is it possible that something in our requirements is not correct?
No. What's happening is that you need to make sure you're using the right course code, and if you use the course to substitute something else on the UNC side, I'm going to show you where you would do an override. But the overrides still do not work for the transcript. We are working on that part. So for an override, you would have to go down to North Carolina, NC information under academics. You would make sure the student 9th grade entry date is in. And under the FRC plan data, or even the CTE, or the UNC, or an endorsement, you have the ability to override. So you would put in the diploma grant date. I'm just going to put today. The diploma issue date, I'm going to put today. You would choose the diploma type. You would say you want to override. You have to put in a reason why you're overriding. It will not let you save until you put a reason for overriding. And you can choose the plan of attempt. The same applies for CTE. If you're going to override, you're going to have to put a reason. You also can choose several of the plans that you want to override. Same thing with UNC. Each one of them, you have to put in a reason for it to save.
Okay. So anytime you do an override, a reason is required.
A reason is required. But at this time, we're still working on how to get the overrides connected to the transcript to take off if a student is missing something.
All right. Anita says the course numbers do need to be for the year the student entered 9th grade. Is that correct? When you're setting up your requirements?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And Cheryl says, what if the course doesn't have a number in historical, it just has a name, a course name? Will it still calculate?
It will not. On the transcript, it will not. For the transcript to calculate correctly, you have to have a course code for each and every one of them. That's it?
That's it.
All right. Someone asked about a report.
Yes. That would show them for a group of students either who's met all the requirements or who hasn't, and what, you know, like what they're missing, what they haven't met, and so forth.
I'm going to select a few students.
Okay, we've got some questions that are coming in. I'm going to wait until LaDanza finishes the report piece, and then we'll go back to questions. So continue typing in your questions, but know that I'm not ignoring you. I'm just giving us a chance to get through this next piece.
So I hand selected a few students, and if you go over to System Reports, click NC DPR Reports, and under Graduation Planner, the Diploma Assessment Report. It will give you the LEA, the school, the student number, the grade, first name, last name, middle name, gender, date of birth, whether the student fulfills FRC. The plus means in progress. The star means override. Whether or not this student is on a UNC path. Did they complete the CPR? Do they have math rigor? Are they a CTE concentrator? And the nice thing about the CTE concentrator, it will give you, if this student is on the path of fulfilling 10 CTE concentrators, it will show you all 10. If this student is a career student, this is from the Credential, no, this is from the endorsement side. Career, college, college UNC, NC Scholar, it will let you know. And if you want to go back and check on one of the students because you see something that you're not sure about, under the student name, it's highlighted in blue. You can click on it, and it will take you back to the last page you was on.
Okay. Okay, we have some questions. Karen says, could you say again what the plus, the and what the plus and the star means?
Plus means it's in progress on that report. Plus means it's in progress. And the star means that it was overridden.
All right, I'm going to start at the top, work my way down. Brittany says, what if the student transfers in and they are maybe in the 10th or 11th grade? I'm not sure, Brittany, exactly what your question is, so type in a little bit more information, please. Bev says, can you give an example of when it would be appropriate to do an override? For example, to override a CTE student plan or math rigor, UNC, etc. When is it appropriate to do an override?
It's appropriate to do an override, let's say, the student is missing PE. They don't have the UNC PE number, and but the student took 2 community college PE courses, and they equaled out to be the same as the state. That would be an override. So you would go in and override the FRC, well, the UNC, and it should take off the student needing PE. What else? Overrides is a little bit touchy because the principal can make an executive decision to override something. So it's more of a LEA base and a DPI base because you may call up here and we will contact the curriculum and instruction and they may say, okay, it's all right to override. Maybe the student took, instead of taking Algebra 1, the student went straight in and took geometry. And now the student is ready to graduate and the student is very good in math. So that can be an override.
Okay. Cheryl says we often have students who are out-of-state transfers that have taken courses for high school credit, and North Carolina doesn't have course codes for those classes. How do we enter those courses since we will not have an available course code?
You would use one of the generic numbers for the courses that we do not have. If that course is a core course, you're going to have to find something that's compatible with it so that student can get the credit for graduation.
Anita says the plus and the star are explained on page 33 of the instructions. Thank you very much, Anita. So for anyone who maybe missed that.
And that's in the Phase 2 document.
In the Phase 2 document. Tammy says, has the fix been implemented regarding the calculation of concentrators?
I need to know a little bit more of what you're referring to.
Okay. Tammy, she'll need to know more information, please. Basically, it would be a course code is not recognized to fulfill the requirements. So, are you talking about an override, Bev? Is that what you're? So basically, it wouldn't be when there's course code available to fill the requirement. I'm not sure exactly. Francine says, are there any community college PEs that the transcript will see as meeting the PE graduation requirements?
I would have to get back with you on that. I don't know off the top of my head. PE has expanded, so I would have to go back and check.
Okay.
That's Francine Dillingham?
That's Francine.
All right.
Thanks, Francine.
I'll send you an email.
Okay. Brittany says thank you. Let's see. Francine says thank you. Should we be able to run the diploma and assessment report now without any other setup?
Yes.
Okay, so yes,
Yes.
that is something that you should be able to do now. When you're setting up your requirements and you're attaching graduation plans to students, that information is based on the student's first time of entering 9th grade.
Yes.
Not the first time they were in 9th grade in North Carolina. So they may have been in 9th grade last year in Wyoming and then came to North Carolina this year for 10th grade, but their graduation requirements are based on last year as their first year in 9th grade.
Yes, which would have been 2012. Graduation requirements.
Okay. Okay, so we're getting lots of questions about when students come from out of state, what course codes do I use? You're going to have to look at the course code lists that are available on the ncsys.org website and find a compatible course code. So you have their code from whatever state they went or took the course in is not going to be the same as our code. But if it was Algebra 1, then you would find our Algebra 1 code. If it is PE, you would find our PE or a compatible course. So we can't tell you on a webinar what course code to use, what generic code to use for this or that. You're going to have to look those up in the course code list and find a compatible course. So we're getting a lot of those questions coming in. Let's see. Tammy's given you more information about that calculation thing. She said it was a memo that was sent out from Rhonda Welfare. Apparently when the Phase 2 was launched for the holidays, generated a problem in the calculation of concentrators that significantly undercounted the students. Their schools are still undercounted.
That's being worked on. I have to do that myself, and I have to do it per concentrator per course.
Okay.
So I'm hoping to have it completely finished by next week.
Okay. Okay. Doris Elliott says when you email Francine to CC it to her, please.
Okay.
So again, when you run the UNC minimum, or if you click on FRC and you want to run, that's one student at a time, or you can wait and let it do the update for everyone overnight. Okay? So we're getting several questions about that. Yes, Deborah, yes, she's saying you have to make sure what year the course was taken in order to use an NCWISE number or a PowerSchool number. That's correct.
That's correct.
So when you go to the course code area on the NCSys site, there are several different links for course code lists. So you have to make sure that you're getting the correct year so you have the correct code
to use.
Okay. Tammy says thank you. Let's see. Kate says, how long should it take to run the report? She said it's been at 5 minutes for 587 students.
The bigger the number, the longer it takes. So I suggest starting out doing maybe 100 students and then see what happens. Because if you have 600 and something 12th graders, it's going to take it a while. You're going to
Okay. Susan says, can you go through each tab and show us the screens and what is behind them? I'm not sure what behind them means, but
I can show you each
you might
tab.
understand.
And are you referring to what's behind? Like this is UNC, here's English, and you have this student is on the 2009 grad plan, and you want to know what courses. If you click on English, it'll tell you the courses. So each one is like that. If I click on foreign language will show me each foreign language course. Math is the same way. But math have different paths. So you have a UNC Math Path 1, and these are the courses that will fulfill it. You have a UNC Path 2, which is standard, and these are the courses that will fulfill it. Is this what you're talking about?
Susan, is this what she's showing you now? Is that what you're talking about, what you're asking for? If you would just type that in for me, so if we know we're on the right path here for what you're asking for, Susan Evans? Yes.
Yes. So each one is the same. If I go to FRC, I'm just not going to click on the 21 credit because it will take a while. But I will show you math for FRC because math have a lot of different ones. And you also have your substitution here where you have, this one is a math sub with accounting. And these are the courses the student would need to take to fulfill. It doesn't mean that the student is a CTE concentrator. It's just showing you math substitution. Okay.
How was that, Susan? Yes, that was what you were asking for. Okay. No new questions have come in. Oh. Sandy Honeycutt says, click on the CTE tab, please.
CTE is a little different. CTE is done by the foundation, the completer, the enhancement. So a student has to have a course out of the enhancement, and the student has to have a course out of each one of these areas. And in on one path, and I think that's the enhancement, they are required to have one. No. They can take as many as they want out of that group, but they are only required to have one.
Sandy says they don't have anything displaying on this page, but they have put a ticket in.
Okay.
She was curious what it was supposed to look like, she said.
Sandy, if you send in a ticket, if you send me an email with the ticket number, I can find out where it's at.
Okay. And we have some people that are running the report, and they're saying that the analysis is showing none of their seniors have met this, or none of their seniors have met that, and asking what's wrong and how to fix it. You're going to have to log a ticket with the support center because they're going to have to look. Somebody's going to have to dig into your data and see what's going on. It's not something that we can do on a webinar.
And you can also just go back and check and make sure that the student have the required courses. Because if they don't have the required courses, it's going to show that they have not met anything.
Absolutely. Marshall says, I thought FRC went away.
FRC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 really went away. As far as the transcript is really concerned, the transcript will not have FRC. It will just say for everybody, even OCS students, Future Ready course. On the background, the reason you're using FRC 1 is, I think, is for the GRE, the graduation verification, to choose one of the diploma types. But even that, I think this is that last year of even picking FRC 1 through 9, and I think you're just going to have to pick Future Ready course spelled out.
I know Rosalind said in one of the webinars that we did earlier, back before Christmas, it might have been one of the mid-year graduates webinars, she said that you can put everybody on the one that spells out Future Ready Core now. The only exceptions to that would be any students that started under Plan 6. If you still have any students that started under Plan 6 in your school, they need to remain in one of the Plan 6 diploma type categories. But everybody else could actually be changed over to the Future Ready Core, what that's spelled out. Can you show the path to run the report again?
All right. If I go back to, on the LEA level, the start page, if you go to System Reports, and if you go to NCDPI Reports, it's the next highlighted area that says Graduation Planner, and it's called Diploma Assessment Report.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Sherry says she copied the 21 credits under the new route she created. Under the LEA tab, it says it was copied, but when she clicks on the radio button next to the base requirement, it's not showing anything.
Put in a ticket and ask them to assign that ticket to me, and then I can look.
Okay. All right, so Sherry put in a ticket on that and ask in the ticket for them to assign it to LaDanza, that you mentioned it to her during the webinar, so she knows it's coming. Barbara says students are limited to one enhancement. All 4 courses can be foundational. They must have a completer, and that's the way she understands it.
Yes.
Okay.
I sometimes get them mixed between the two.
All right. You said that is now, this area is now listed under custom screens, not under the, it's not listed under custom.
It's under custom screens. In the version you have right now, it's under custom screens. But when we go to 8.1, what you see on my screen is what's going to be the new
the way it'll look.
Yes.
Thank you, because I couldn't seem to get that out for some reason.
Yes. This is what it's going to look like after we upgrade to 8.1. But right now, under the version you're under, which I think is 7.1,
It's
7 something,
711 or 712.
it's still under custom screens.
And that upgrade is slated to take place the during the February maintenance weekend, which I think is like February 6th, 7th, 7th and 8th or something like that.
Something like that.
Okay, so we've got a request that says this is a little off topic, but could you show what is on the counselor dashboard in version 8?
I'm not sure how to get to the counselor's dashboard. I'm sorry. That's an area I haven't played with yet.
Yeah, I actually haven't either. Pull up a student. She's telling us how to do it. We've got, and Emily's also saying, under student information. It's on the left under academics.
Okay. Left
under academics. Oh, counselor dashboard. Come on down near the bottom. The third one under academics. There it is. That's what it looks like when you all get the updated version. Thank you, Emily and Kay.
Anything else?
Okay. Let's see. People asking what problems might be if things are not showing as complete and that type of thing, and that you're going to have to log tickets for those types of things. Will the world language-based subjects show on the UNC requirement screen with the update to the new version? The world language requirement is currently not showing for UNC requirement.
Correct, and it will show.
So it will show when we
It will
when we're
show.
updated, upgraded? Great.
Let me go back here. See? It's under UNC.
Yay! So that'll show up there for you once we move to the upgrade. Emily says that counselor dashboard screen is a plug-in, and it should look basically the same.
Okay.
Even once we go to the upgrade. Thanks, Emily. Susan says, why aren't all of these questions showing in the list here? I don't know. I'm not sure, Susan. I know that a lot of times people that are logged in will get the questions, but I don't know why they're not showing up for you. What I see looks different from what you see, so I'm sorry, I really don't know. Do we have any other questions? Emily says the questions are only showing when they're answered. Oh, so is that the way it always is? So only answered questions show up? Oh, so if I don't type in an answer, it doesn't show up? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know that.
We're learning something.
I've learned something new. I get to go home for the day. Thank you, Emily. I will try to do better with typing in answers. It's just sometimes it's really hard to type in an answer and keep moving to the next question. Kind of keep things. That's right. You can go. Emily says I can only go home if she gets to go with me. Come on. It's a Friday. Let's call it a day. But thank you for letting me know that. I did not know that. So I will, everybody's wanting to go home. So, okay, Susan says, good to know. Saving the question log doesn't really help if nothing is listed. That is true. And we will try, now that we know that, or at least that I know that, I didn't know that previously. LaDanza, what are you doing? Nancy says, will there be a webinar on the 8.1 differences and highlights? I think they did that a while back at one of the CCB or UAB meetings. It seems like I saw they did, and they'll probably do it again, I would imagine. And I'm sure that there will be some, everything that you're going to see, everything that you will see at Symposium that deals with PowerSchool will be in the new version. So you'll see all of it then. When will endorsements show on the transcripts? Is that something that will show up when the 8.1 is released?
Yes.
Yes.
The transcripts are already ready for endorsement.
Okay, so the 10-point grading scale doesn't go into effect this year, so that'll be discussed more later because that is for next year. So it's not anything you need to worry about right now. I think that's about all of them. Okay. Well, I think it's been a really good webinar. I think LaDanza did a good job of walking you through the screens, and stop trying to run away, LaDanza, of walking you through the screens and showing you what they look like and how they function. And I did send the links out to you via the question panel, so everybody should have gotten 2 different links for both of 2 links, one for each of the documents on grad plans, but you can go to the SIS website and find them there too. You're welcome, Francine. She says, thank you, Wendy and LaDanza.
You're welcome.
So remember, we did record this, and we will be getting it posted on the website, and we hopefully it won't be today. I can tell you it won't be today, but one day next week we will get it posted, because I'll have to get it and convert it and then send it over, and then they have to do their stuff with it. So it'll be one day next week. So a couple people are saying that for whatever reason, it wasn't an email that I sent. It was just I replied to a question in the question panel with those links. I'm sorry if I said email. I meant I just sent it out through the question panel. So if you save the question log, which will have some questions because I've typed in answers to some of them, you just won't have all of them, but you'll have the links. All right. Well, thank you very much, and you all have a great weekend. Enjoy your holiday on Monday and the short week next week, and we will see you next time. Bye.